What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wax Packs and Warning Tracks. It's Mojobreak's Baseball Card Podcast. Cody and Bubba with you today. You guys know the drill. Subscribe wherever you are listening. Just search Mojobreak if you're watching this, and if you're listening to it, Mojobreak Media, that's where you can watch the podcast. Today, we got a huge month of new releases in June. May kind of a quiet month overall for releases, it felt like. I know we had Bowman, so that took up a lot of our attention, but June is going to be packed. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the new releases, what we're most looking forward to, and All-Star Game. Time to start thinking about All-Stars. As we turn the calendar to June, we can start voting on All-Stars. And we'll talk about it. I was about to make a tangent, but I'll get to that tangent. It's just something, God, I really got to work on that. But there's going to be a lot of first timers. There always are. So we're going to look at maybe some first time potential all-stars and their markets, and maybe the guys too that we like, guys that we don't like, and we'll talk about it. The tangent I was going to do, now I can get into my tangent, is I remember all-star voting starting a lot sooner. It feels like it starts a lot later now, right?
Man, I mean, my first memories of all-star voting are at the ballpark.
Exactly.
Popping out the little
can't do it anymore.
Little holes, making little hole punches. Yeah, it does seem a little late.
It feels a lot later. I have to look it up.
Because it's not even open yet, right? Voting hasn't even started yet.
It still hasn't even started yet. And I feel like usually around mid-May or just before Memorial Day, I feel like that's usually when I remember it starting.
Did they move the game back, though, and like everything's moved back?
No, it's still the same. It's still the middle of July. It's July 15th is when I believe the All-Star Game is this year in Philadelphia. So, it just feels like it's not starting. And maybe that's better because, one, it's all online anyway, so it's easier to just get a lot of votes in like a month's time, and maybe 2 months of baseball rather than like a month and a half gives you more chances, more chance to get it right, because there are always some weird, even a month and a half in, that extra 2 weeks does give you it separates the real all-stars from guys who just got off to a nice hot start. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sure there are going to be some close races as we approach. But yeah, I don't mind it being a little later.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I do mind.
Yeah.
I liked going to the ballpark and filling out the paper
that's
ballots.
the best. That was the best.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And maybe too we get away from. I don't remember the last year that we had it, but we do get away from stuffing the ballot box, which I do remember in 2012. That was the last time I feel like a fan base stuffed the ballot box. I am speaking specifically of the San Francisco Giants fan base. A lot of people were mad Pablo Sandoval started that game.
That was awesome.
And he did well. And I'm just saying, it paid off.
No hanging chads there. They all those votes went through.
No hanging chads. A lot of votes for Panda. Let's talk about some new releases. Like we said, May was a little bit quiet besides Bowman Baseball, which is a massive release. Obviously took up a lot of our attention. But June, huge month. Here are just a few. These are the major ones. There's a couple other baseball ones, but these are the major Topps releases for the month of June.
Some hitters.
Topps Chrome Platinum Baseball, a product that surprisingly it's got shooters, for lack of a better term. A lot of people do fight for this product.
This is kind of a polarizing year too, because I think it's like consensus been one of the most best bang for your buck products over the years, and this year they really hiked up the price. It should still be really nice, but we'll see what the price. I mean, it's still going to be super high in demand. It's a beautiful release every year.
Yeah, even regardless of it's still a higher price. Which look, this is just everything now. It stinks, but that's the reality.
Yeah, when you have Ohtani and Judge and Kurtz and Roki and all these guys selling for what they do, it's it's a bummer that the box prices are, I think, reflective of that. But how cool, they were in an era, we're in a time right now that all these guys are playing at the same time.
$275 for a hobby. Ew.
Yeah, they used to be under $200.
Yep. I think the first year was it wasn't a guaranteed auto though. if I recall that first year they had it. I don't think there was a guaranteed auto.
First year they had it, no guarantee.
So it was like $100. It was a very cheap box.
But then they threw an auto in there, and I feel like it was like $150.
Yep, it still was very affordable.
And some boxes had 2 autos, and you were getting like 4 to 5 numbered cards per box.
Yeah. Now you're guaranteed the 1, and then 4 inserts is what you're looking at as well. Series 2 baseball, that is not going to be super expensive. It's Series 2 baseball, Topps regular, as it were, with all of the rest of the big rookie chases. That includes, of course, Munetaka Murakami, who I don't know if we'll talk about him too much. I know he could technically be, he's not technically, he almost certainly will be a first-time All-Star, but we've talked a lot about him. We talked about him at length, but that will certainly be a big chase coming up in Series 2 baseball.
Well, Kevin McGonigal, maybe. Should have his first rookie cards in there, true Topps rookies.
Yep.
JJ Weatherholt maybe gets his first rookies.
Weatherholt will be in there as well.
And then we kind of, you start to think about who are the holdouts going to be for update, because they have to, make that worthwhile too.
Right. Well, we already know. I think I saw that, and again, it's always that cutoff. Always look at that cutoff for Memorial Day, because that's pretty much in line with if you are in the major leagues before Memorial Day, you are going to be in products, and if you don't make it before Memorial Day, you probably aren't. But there are some exceptions, and I believe Spencer Jones is an exception here, because his call-up, it's a call-up card, his Topps Now. It said call-up. It did not have the rookie logo on it. So he will be almost certainly, unless things are changed, I believe he's going to be a Topps. I think he's going to be a rookie in 2027 Topps products.
Oh, Series 1 maybe.
Yeah.
He's got to start hitting.
He does. I mean, he's still going to sell regardless next year, but let me just double check that. I'm almost positive that
I took a bath on on that Bowman Inception auto. I had 1 of 99. Yeah, I took a bath on it.
Yeah, look, there's still room to grow here.
I bought it before he got, like 2 weeks before he got called up, and then I sold it, started the auction.
Yeah.
Right after he got called up. And
he feels like he's running into a same problem that, actually, funny enough, another almost exact same build slugger, Bryce Eldridge, is kind of running into, of just look, he can't keep, there's no reason for him to stay in AAA, but there's not really a spot for him here. The Giants, it's a little different. They should find a spot for him given where they're at. The Yankees, though, it's where are we putting him?
Yeah, it was definitely him getting called up was just reactionary to some injuries that they had at the major league level. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm rooting for the guy. He's the left-handed Judge is pretty much kind of what his comparison.
Right. Yes.
On his way up. And
Stanton on the IL right now. But you have Goldschmidt as an option who can fill in at the DH spot. So yeah, anyway, just something to keep in mind. And I do believe, I don't even know if he's still, he's not currently on the roster right now anyway. So I think he got stepped back down. So
well, it became I think between Goldie, Rice and Jones, just odd man out kind of deal. Yep. And I think Volpe came back and they brought Volpe back up, and
just wasn't room for him.
He'll have his turn.
So anyway, that's something to look forward to for 2027. But for 2026, Topps Series 2 will be coming out soon. We got Topps Inception. We also have Tier 1 baseball and Dynasty baseball. Which of these products coming up in the month of June are you most excited to dig into?
I am, and this is a perennial favorite. This year, I'm especially excited about it. It's Topps Dynasty Baseball. So it's 2025 Topps Dynasty Baseball. So we're going to have our first Kurtz Kamanik rookie patch autos, the most desirable, the highest, the creme de la creme. Dynasty sells better than Transcendent, 10 out of 10 times. And it's this year a little bit of a larger print run, which has its drawbacks. And what they've introduced, though, are some really, really nice triple autographs that are all going to be, at least what I was seeing, some of the mock-ups, triple autographs all from the same team. I think about from a breaker standpoint, from a break buying standpoint, we're not going to have to do some randoms. And with only 5 cards in a case and a pretty expensive product as is, there aren't going to be a lot of breaks out there that are super multi case out there. So to have, already kind of not high skunk potential, but to already have it kind of be a tough to hit product, then to not have the additional randoms introduced and stuff like that, I think is nice. At least the first images I saw of those triple autos are pretty sweet. The patches, undeniable. Dynasty knocks it out of the park always. And the one of one pattern, like kind of like that gold traditional pattern they do, gets a little bit of a redesign this year. I think they're super pretty. And 2025, heck of a class. James Wood crushing the baseball.
Man, how good has James Wood been lately?
Dylan Cruz is back in baseball.
Yes.
He had a homer like his second game back. I think that a lot of things are kind of working into this release. Just like, it's you gotta kind of get lucky when you're releasing a 2025 product in the middle of the summer in 2026.
The fact that Kurtz and Wood are both looking like two of the best sluggers in the game right now certainly helps all 2025 products right now. It's definitely helping.
Yeah. And I wanted to add too, commemorative baseball and commemorative baseball leather from some big games. So I know we have like a lot of World Series stuff going on. And I mean, it's Dynasty. It's you can't miss out. You just can't miss on Dynasty.
It's one of the best looking products, I think, for baseball collectors. Dynasty still sort of represents the high watermark, or one of the high watermarks of high end releases for baseball. It's the closest we've got to an NT sort of flawless vibe of a product. Obviously, there's Diamond Icons, there's Definitive, there's Transcendent as well, but Dynasty definitely does have its own, is in its class of its own. That said, the price point is very shocking, even considering years of ripping this product, of seeing this product. I think we're looking at what I got on DA right now. It's where I'm looking. $14K for a $5 case. That's 5 cards. That's a shock, especially when, like you said, the print runs a little higher. Look, the cards are undeniable, but obviously that is there's big sticker shock here. There's no questioning that. But all the things you said, we'll see how the market responds, and the rookies are. It is perfect timing for this 25 rookie class and this product to be coming out. If you're looking just for return on guys like Wood, guys like Kurtz, and a few other guys as well. Yeah,
there are other guys out there too. But it's like, if there were to be a time where the prices were there was gonna be additional sticker shock, it helps that at least the contents of the box and the checklist, there's a lot of big hitters on there.
Yeah.
And good Lord, I mean, I don't want to keep making it about Ohtani and Judge, but
Ohtani, Trout, dual autos for Angels still there. They're still, they are still pushing those Angels dual autos all these years later.
They've done that. They've done a good job. I think it's a good job through Definitive, now Dynasty, Diamond Icons, even to still have Ohtani with the Angels. And I'm just thinking from like a breaking standpoint, like it just is nice for the customer, and it's nice for all parties involved to have a little bit more spread in what is such a high end and only 5 cards in a case. Like, I don't have the word for what that is, but just so unique,
super premium,
ultra premium. So like, to have some of these other like factoring in where you have good checklists, good rookies stepping up, Ohtani doing historic things. They've always done a really good job with having Hall of Famers and like relevant Hall of Famers in there too. Pulled a really nice Chipper Jones Logo Man auto out of last year's beautiful card. It maybe as the product is getting broken, it'll seem less crazy of a sticker. We might not be looking at the price as much. And really, I feel like if you're a perennial Dynasty buyer, the price is something to consider. But like, I think given the checklist, it's reasonable if you find yourself indulging in Finest year over year. I don't think this is that much of a drastic change, as maybe some of the Instagram comments might lead you to believe.
Yeah, well, it's always the loudest, I think, when it comes to that. If you're looking at the other side of things, you have, for me, tier 1 is one I've always I've always enjoyed.
It looks so nice this year.
I think it gets better and better every year.
Yeah.
I think they have made a lot of improvements on this product every single year, and it's one of the first chances to get some higher end 2026 stuff. So all the big chases from the 2026 class, you should be able to find a lot of those guys in here. Plus, beautiful looking legend autos, and it just I'm seeing some nice looking acetate designs that I have not seen before. Always one I enjoyed ripping. You're getting 2 autos per box. I think you're looking at about $4.99 right now for a hobby. Inception is out there as well. I'm not the highest on it. I've never been super high on Inception, I'll be honest. It's just the design for me just something about the design I've never been super into, and I think the autos always tend to be a little underwhelming.
It's a big checklist, and it typically, I think, comes out around this same time where you have a dynasty. Like I think last year we were running on Fanatics Live like dual case breaks, PYT, Dynasty, and Inception, just to kind of make it less skunky. And yeah, you're like I don't know if you heard me earlier walking around like talking about a little I don't know that I'm gonna be thrilled about pulling like a Drew Gilbert auto out of what might end up being like a $500 box on the secondhand market. And sometime, at least historically, there have been sticker autos that have been flying out. There are always plenty of redeeming qualities about Inception, and I love that it's kind of like a brand that has transcended sports. So they've done like multi-sport, they've done Bowman, they've done Topps, Wemby, if you remember, Wemby's first autographs were in 22-23.
Right.
Bowman U, multi-sport Inception. So there's it has some pedigree, and the patches are usually really nice too, like really colorful patches, nice to get for the price. Usually you have to wait till a Dynasty or a Transcendent to see some of those 3-4 color patches.
Yeah, the RPAs are pretty nice, and that's part of I think the allure of this product.
Yeah.
Why it does it does. They do keep it coming out year after year.
But less than 10 cards per box, I think, typically maybe 6 cards you're seeing or something like that. If you base a couple numbered and 2 hits, definitely has that scratcher feel, which, has its place in the hobby for sure.
I do like the addition, and I think this was added last year, of the milestone cards.
Yeah.
I do like those.
Yeah. Mike Mahan was at industry conference saying, and he said that the first milestone cards were his favorite addition to Topps products since the Fanatics era.
Yeah, it's like a mini. It's like a mini version of a debut patch in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm not getting the debut patch, but this is the next best thing and they do take the piece of the base with the logo on it. They look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I will give it that. But for my money, if I'm looking at the price right now, and again, I'm looking at Inception at about $320 per hobby box versus tier 1 is at $499. I think the floor of tier 1, I will take that over the floor for Inception on a personal level. But yeah, I get it. Pick whichever design you like. And I just think the look of tier 1, it's just some great looking cards. So
I got one for you. I got a question.
Yeah.
And feel free in the comments too. Let me know. Would you rather have a debut patch auto of any player's debut patch auto?
Mm-hmm.
And in that debut, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, golden sombrero.
Right.
Maybe he made an error too in the field. Bad debut.
Forgettable.
Would you rather have that card or the 1/1 Inception first milestone commemorating their first hit? The 1/1 typically is the logo man from the base of first base, the first base they touched from their first hit. So both cards commemorate the first of something. One's the first game. Say the second game. Say game 2, he goes 4 for 4, and you get with 4 homers, just the polar opposite, the
and you're
inverse.
Getting that card.
And you get that card, also 1/1. I think overwhelmingly people would still choose the debut patch, but why?
It's because it's still the debut. It's still the first time you set foot on a field. And at the end of the day, like, I don't remember what happened in Buster Posey's first game. I don't remember what happened in Freddie Freeman's first game. Unless you did something historic. Like, I know what happened in Will Clark's first game. I know what happened in his first at bat because they played over and over every single year on Giants broadcasts.
Yeah, Jason Hayward.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember those things. But, like, for the most part, 95% of the time, if not more, you don't remember what happened. But you look at that and you go, well, there it is. The very first time Mike Trout, if theoretically speaking, if they had it back then, that's the first time he set foot on a baseball field.
It signifies the start of an era.
Yeah.
Player, right? Yeah.
Now, if you did something historic in that, like, this is the first hit card and it was a home run and it ends up being a Hall of Famer, I think you're going to see that gap close between the debut and maybe the first milestone card. But we've also attached, like, regardless of what we've done, we in the industry and we as collectors have now attached a value to that debut patch where the floor on it is like so high, regardless, even the lowest version of it is so high. And then on top of that, I would say the bigger value add is, did you do something? Maybe, well, I was going to say we don't remember what you did in the debut, but you know what we are going to remember? Allenbear Santa. Yeah, the guy who was part of the combo. No. I'm saying all this stuff. I'm like, we're not going to remember what you do in your debut unless you came out of the bullpen and you finished the final 2 innings of a combo. No.
Yeah,
which is
pretty incredible.
Pretty cool that's going to be part of that. And that does add something now, because otherwise that isn't, I don't want to say insignificant. That's putting it too harshly. But otherwise, no one is going to be actively chasing the Allenbear Santa debut patch card. But now they are.
Right. We're not chasing debut patch cards for what they did in their debut. We chase the debut patch cards because it's their first best card of their career.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's just to think about it, though. Think about it. If you're out there, because some of these debut patch autos are going for like 50 G's, right? For some of the more notable players. Think about it. If you're spending 50 grand, some of these Inception cards, our first home run, our first hit, I'm not like,
they're not even close to that.
I think I would rather have the debut patch personally, but it's something I think about, like those milestone cards. And I think this kind of speaking to like the underratedness of the milestone cards. It's a pretty cool card. And if you have the one of one, the only one of ones I've seen have been the full MLB logo man from first base. The first base you touch on your first hit or your first homer, I think it's pretty cool. But
it is very cool. It is unquestionably a very cool
very
card.
Cool in comparison. Even I'll add in comparison to the debut patch.
I think there's something. I think you're onto something, that there is maybe there is a big gap between the value of these.
I'd like to see the gap close, the delta close or shrink, and I'm fine with debut patch cards just kind of maybe coming down a little bit in price too.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
I'm fine with, if that's how we want to, meet in the middle, I'm fine with that.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's going to be happening. Seeing some sales this week where I'm like, oh, okay, so MVP golds are floor 7-figure cards.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. With the Josh Allen sale, with the Judge Ohtani, like, it's a crazy card. And then, of course, the debut on top of that, kind of looking at the same thing. All-Star Game is coming up in about maybe 50 days or so. So we're getting around there. Voting should be starting soon. So let's take a look at some potential first-time All-Stars. And I think I want to preface with this. Being an All-Star doesn't do that much to your market, I feel like. Right?
Right.
Case in point, we had a social media team go out to the ballpark, to Oracle Park this year, did some stuff with the Dodgers when they were in town, and they came back, and one of our social media team, shout out to Amelia, who said, oh yeah, we ripped with a couple All-Stars. And I went, Teoscar Hernandez, yeah, he's an All-Star. Andy Pye's not an All-Star yet. What are you talking about? Oh, All-Star Santiago Espinal.
Yes.
Like, no, that's not, no, incorrect. Wrong. No. All-Star Santiago Espinal. She was very, sure of this. So, of course, I looked it up, and lo and behold, Santiago Espinal.
Yeah, he had an incredible first half of the Blue Jays 2020, 2021.
Was indeed an All-Star. 2022.
2022. Right.
A year where his slash line, 267 batting average, 322 on base, 370 slugging, and a 692 OPS.
Bro,
All-star.
He was hitting 330 at the break, I'm telling you.
No,
yeah.
When they announced the rosters right at the end of June, he was batting like over 300. And then when it got to the game itself, it dipped down to like 280. So I was like, oh, what's going on? And then it all kind of came back to earth. But anyway, point being, a lot of guys make the All-Star team. There are 34 All-Stars and every team needs one. So the bump is not from being an All-Star usually. The bump is from what did they do to deserve to be an All-Star? So don't usually wait till they make an All-Star game to make any decisions on selling or buying, because it's not really going to have that much of an effect.
Yes, and there are some exceptions. Like if you have an incredible All-Star game, like I'm thinking right now, like I'm sitting on some Cam Schlittler's. I'm hoping that he starts the All-Star game and like strikes out Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. That's the exceptions.
Because that'll just become a viral moment. No different than if he were to I think like no different than if he were to like throw a no-hitter. I really think that striking out Shohei Ohtani in the All-Star game,
you think it's that big
for
of
a clean inning, does as much, if not more, than throwing a no-no.
I might take exception with that.
All good. I think many would take exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely would make an impact.
I think we talk about him striking out Ohtani more than we talk about the no-no.
I don't know. I think we talk about that. And here's why, too. Because
when's the last rookie to throw a no-hitter, too?
There's one rookie who throws a no-hitter. Two, dawned on me, we just talked about the Astros no-hitter. The first one since 2024. The last no-hitter, also a combined no-hitter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting
Cubs?
less. Yeah, that was the Cubs. We're getting less no-hitters overall, and the last two have been combo ones. So the last solo no-hitter, it's been even longer.
Good point.
It would be really special in today's day and age, which it's such a sign of the times that the last two have been combo ones. If Schlittler went out there and he went 9 innings and shoved and he got a no-no, I think that, and he's a Yankee and he's a rookie, I think it's one of the highlights of the entire season.
The more you lay it out and the more you talk about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I agree. Now, if Christopher Sanchez starts,
I'll walk that back.
All right. There you go. All right. I'll take it. If Christopher Sanchez, though, maybe like
that one back,
strikes out the side, maybe strikes out Judge and strikes out the side in Philly for the All-Star game, starting the All-Star game. And then like a month later, he no-hits the Rockies. Maybe then we're about a little more even. Maybe.
Okay.
It all depends.
Yeah.
It's all, there's a lot of things that go into this. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and every situation's unique. But I could see in some cases yes, some cases no.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So back to our All-Star roster. I think I told you this before we went on air. I did this practice, which I do this a lot. I actually do this every year, where I try to put together the All-Star rosters.
Yes.
Do you do this as well? Are we all? Or is anyone else out there who spends too much time doing this type of stuff? It's not easy.
Not quite like how I know you do it, but I play fantasy baseball, and I play like also like some like mini games where you put together like a little projection.
Oh, right.
So interested to see what you got.
So yeah, so I try to put together 2 34-man rosters as they have it with with an all-star for every single team. So there are guys who get left off the board. And so I did this so that I could figure out like who are we potentially looking at as first-time all-stars and who would have and maybe then see like, okay, who's worth maybe jumping in on right now, who might be some underrated guys. So just a few, I'll name from the American League, a few that are the first-time guys I have. I have like Shea Langoliers in there, Ben Rice, Murakami, obviously, Nick Kurtz. first base is insane this year. There are 3 guys who should basically be all-star starters at first base for the American League. Pretty nuts. I got Josh Young at third base there, Miguel Vargas for the White Sox, Kevin McGonigal. Who else? We got Schlittler in there, Davis Martin, Parker Messick I've got on there as well. For the National League, Drake Baldwin having a great year after a rookie season, would be a first-time All-Star this year. A lot more normal, a lot more guys that you probably used to seeing. Xavier Edwards I have there in the National League. Otto Lopez, maybe my biggest surprise at shortstop. He's not the starter. CJ Abrams I have as my starter. This is just sort of a blanket. Like these are not all the guys, but like Jordan Walker I have on there as a first-timer. Michael Harris, who I definitely want to talk about. I think Michael Harris is very interesting. Mickey Moniak. Rockies need an all-star. So Mickey Moniak is that guy. My most controversial pick, and it kind of just because, again, it's tough to make this work with getting guys on the roster. I don't have Ohtani as a hitter. I have him only as a pitcher.
Okay.
That will not happen. He's going to start the All-Star game as a designated hitter and potentially as a pitcher because that's what they're going to do. But, yeah, I just couldn't squeeze him in. And I needed to put in Casey Schmidt as a Giants All-Star representative. So he's the second DH next to Kyle Schwarber.
Casey Schmidt may as well just be Ohtani. I mean, he is...
He used to be a two-way player.
He is incredible.
He's been great.
He just hasn't stopped.
He's a super he will be on the roster as the super utility guy.
Dude, he's incredible.
Right,
he is incredible. He's on my fantasy baseball team,
nuts.
which is why I'm so friendly toward him.
Left field, first base, second base,
third base. Did you say first base?
Yeah. He's got
DH,
shortstop. He all 4 infield positions plus DH plus now left field as well.
Yeah, he's
pretty good.
And he passes the eye test too. He's like the best baseball player on the field that they roll out there.
He certainly is right now.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
He
deserves to be their all-star.
He's great. I don't know what, and I don't know enough about like Giants lore to like know what happens to players like that when when they start popping off. Maybe he's a Giant for life.
He could stick. We'll see.
Well, yeah, but that's awesome. You're not going to get me to agree that Ohtani's shouldn't be in the lineup or not. I think he'll be in there.
He will
for the spectacle of it all, right? Yes. Like, oh, we have our starting pitcher is also in the lineup.
Yeah. As long as you can keep doing that, they're going to keep doing that. Despite the fact that I think statistically this year, Kyle Schwarber should be the starter at DH. As of right now, he should be the starting DH.
Yeah.
He should be.
Yeah, he should be. That's interesting because it's like it's hard to conceptualize Ohtani not being.
It is weird.
In the lineup.
I reflexively just put him on as DH, and then I actually looked and went, "Oh wait, no, it's Schwarber," and I don't even know if he's my second DH option. So he's in there as a pitcher, by the way. It's not that crazy.
And is he even the starting pitcher?
It could be Christopher Sanchez. It could be Mizorowski. Pitching for the National League, if we're going back to some more first-time guys, Chase Burns, which I think would be another very interesting one. The way I want to see where his market is right now. Braxton Ashcraft, I have there. Max Meyer. All 3 of those guys who were big pitching prospects, specifically Meyer and Burns, who now have who look like they are reaching their potential. So that's just kind of a look at some of my first-time guys. So of those guys we kind of brought up there, I know there's a lot of names. Is there any sort of first-time guy that you think that's an interesting guy to maybe look at potentially, like where their market is and maybe even and jumping in on some of their cards?
Yeah, so I was just talking about it. I go to Cam Schlittler because I think he has, from a hobby perspective and a card buying, selling, trading perspective, I think he has the most to lose or gain from an all-star appearance. He's been like otherworldly in his first 10, 11 starts this year, or however many it's been. Like really, really good.
Yeah. Extra
good. And his K to walk ratios, all of his rates, his stuff. He has like 4 different fastballs. There's And a lot of the I feel like the baseball world, he's not a household name. He's not like the most traded person. If you go on eBay right now, like there aren't auctions for his cards. You can't just buy his cards.
Do you think part of that though is that we are in the ultimate hold mode right now with him?
It's yes. So it's like, yeah, and I think the hold is like, I think what this All-Star game could do is like bring some like anxiety around like collectors. Like, oh shoot, my prize secret is now going to be on the main stage for everyone to see. And yeah, a Shohei Ohtani could expose them. Corbin Carroll could just absolutely turn on one and just expose him. Just, Corbin Carroll and Ohtani do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
And so I look at him as like he has the most to lose or gain. I think that like typically, or not typically, but lately, the All-Star game's been very casual and it's been like a very celebratory and
I don't think it really loses anything.
And fun. It just, I think, can bite him if he doesn't have a good showing.
Maybe.
Because for a lot of people, it'll be their first exposure to Cam Schlittler. And there's the Schlitty and the nicknames and he's and he plays for the Evil Empire and he's easy to root against. And I don't want to make it too much make it seem like things so much hinges on the All-Star game, but for a first-time All-Star that already has a huge market that has been non-dependent on All-Star selections, I just think it's interesting. I think it's like he almost has more to lose than to gain.
I think he gained. I mean, the gains are already there. I'm looking right now at a PSA 10 yellow first Bowman auto that sold at the beginning of May for $1,600. It has skyrocketed to almost $3,000 more, $4,460.
Yeah,
the same card.
I don't think it's sustainable. And so I just feel like a cataclysmic moment, like an All-Star game or a playoff game, which he like debuted, almost like he debuted in the playoffs last year. He didn't, but like his first like big start was against the Red Sox or something, like in 8 innings in the playoffs.
Right.
I think like for a guy that's not like a household name, that doesn't get talked about a lot, that isn't the most traded guy currently for amongst like some of these like rookies that are having great performances. I'd argue he's having the best rookie performance, pound for pound. Like I think that like big moments like an All-Star game are going to bring a lot more eyes back to his market or introduce people to his market, and they're not going to want to pay the $4,400.
No.
And I don't think an All-Star nod's going to be like, well, he got an All-Star nod, so I'll pay $5.
I think an All-Star start, though.
A start helps.
Absolutely helps. And he's right now, that is what he is on track for.
So, yeah, he kind of needs to start the game.
Yeah.
And maybe he throws like 2 innings, because on the inverse, he could like go off and he could strike out like 6 guys in 2 innings and he's the All-Star MVP.
I don't want to put too much on his shoulders. But this is kind of the closest we have been we're kind of on the Skeens trajectory right now of like what he's doing. I'm not saying he is Skeens. Skeens is a uniquely talented and he's younger than Schlittler or the same age. I have to double check that, but I think he's the same. Yeah, he's actually a year younger than Cam Schlittler. So again, take it with a grain of salt what I'm saying here. But the whole trajectory of look at this young pitcher with all these expectations. It's his rookie season. He looks like he could start the All-Star game. And the last time we saw that, where it all converged into Paul Skeens starting the All-Star game, that, of course, being only a couple months into his career. So it's not quite the same, this eruption of talent that we saw. But I think that you're seeing a lot of the same stuff, the same chain of events happening, maybe just drawn out a little bit longer. So I think right now, obviously, his market is incredible at the moment, but I do think if we're on this path towards he's starting the All-Star game, Skeens kind of showed you where that goes. That, Skeens, his market peaked at that moment where you're like, wow, All-Star game start, and his stuff started selling like crazy. Obviously, it's still selling like crazy, and it got even crazier. So if you want to hang on to him after the All-Star start, I don't really think it matters what happens in the All-Star game. I think that if he's starting the All-Star game, that sets him off on a trajectory where then all of our eyes are locked in on him and his market for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. I just feel like it's going to be a lot of people's first introduction to him. And so, like, God forbid he has a bad showing. And in a small sample size, guys usually get like 3 outs in an All-Star game. Yeah, his market is so healthy that I would hate for it to come down to like 3 outs or 6 outs.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think the result of the game will have basically zero effect on this market, especially if
the final score, sure, but in the vacuum, his performance, I think
even that I don't unless he gives up like 5 straight homers. You know, I just don't think it's going to change that much.
Yeah,
but another pitcher.
I hope you're right.
Another pitcher I want to talk about, Chase Burns. What a year he's having! It's been awesome to see that.
Wow.
The Reds, I kind of looked at that Reds team before the year and like, I kind of like that rotation. A lot of it's going to ride on the arm of Chase Burns. And you know what? At 23, and maybe this is the guy. We're talking Schlittler and all that. But you know what? I think Reds fans, shout out to Reds fans, who I see a lot in the comments. We talk Murakami. What about Sal Stewart, who I didn't have on my All-Star roster, but he was close. What about Sal Stewart? That's the easy rookie of the year, and he's only like 22. You're right. And we're talking Schlittler, 25 years old. These Yankees. What about Chase Burns? Mm-hmm. He's 23. He's the real next Skeens. He's 7-1. He's got a sub-2 ERA. All these 72 strikeouts so far. He looks like the pitcher everybody said he could be. It's very, very exciting to see. He's got a real shot at starting the All-Star game. The only thing going against him for that is that it's maybe the strongest batch of arms we've had in the National League in I don't know how long. It's a great year for pitching. Do you know? We just talked about 2 pitchers. If you didn't know about the offensive stats of baseball, you might be able to guess that batting average as a whole is at a historic lows right now across the league. And it's because there's so much good pitching right now. And Burns is right at the top of that list. He's been incredible to watch. And he's a guy that we've been chasing for a long time for Bowman collectors back into 2024 Bowman draft. So his market is very healthy. I think it's still a little bit under what Schlittler is, honestly. Looking at some of his recent sales, it definitely is under what Schlittler is, because I'm looking at a gold shimmer right now that just sold the other day, PSA 10 for just under $3,000, $2,950.
So I'm going to go with Yankees bias on that because Chase Burns should be selling higher.
Absolutely.
He's the 2nd overall pick. I mean, this is the guy that came in with pedigree. Schlittler, I think, is like a 10th round pick or something like that. Which shout out Schlittler for like making that jump, but like Chase Burns like is not done anything, I don't think, to be like, hey, I'm not deserving of this like draft slot or like. So I think it just comes down to take out of Yankees fans, and the market is so healthy with Yankees stuff. But shoot, man, go fire on some Chase Burns stuff. He's doing what he should be doing.
Yeah, this is what's crazy, and you're right. This is Yankee bias. This is the Reds are one of those teams that they just get lost in the shuffle. Unfortunately, his first Bowman PSA 10 base auto last year, June of last year, is selling, or it's sold for $425. That same auto on May 24th sold for $242. I think it's a great time to get in on Chase Burns if that's the trend.
Wow.
If the trend is it's going down despite the fact that he's that dude now, man, I don't know. There's a lot of other guys right now who are ahead of him in the Cy Young race. I'll give you that. I think right now Sanchez, Mizorowski, Ohtani, I can pretty firmly say are ahead of him. Maybe Skeens as well. But he's at least the top. I think he's easily in that top 5 discussion right now.
People want to put Skeens ahead of Burns because of what they project Skeens to be at the end of the year. But I mean, if the season ended today, it's Burns over Skeens.
I think so too.
Objectively,
yeah, I absolutely think so. Yeah, Burns has been fantastic. He's 5th in all of Major League Baseball in ERA as we speak. A .96 whip is 6th best in baseball. Skeens is ahead of him in that category, but yeah, he's been phenomenal and just 23 years old. Sky's the limit for him. So that is one where I'm like, easy buy. And you know what, too? Like, there's a scenario that there's so many good starting pitchers for the National League. Somebody is just not going to, it's just going to be like, oh, they pitched on Sunday.
Right.
You know? And maybe that doesn't have the same distinction of like when they picked Skeens and they're like, wow, he has been like, this is crazy. What a story. But I think it'll still definitely pop his market a little bit. Before we wrap up, yeah, a couple of guys I want to mention. Michael Harris, I want to mention because he's a guy I have been so high on for so long, and I've been burned time and time again. I loved him after his rookie year. I loved that he could just do everything on a baseball field. I liked the fact that he's also a hometown kid playing for his hometown team. Everything, I loved everything going for him. And basically since his rookie year, it was just regression every single year, to the point where kind of the bottom fell out last year, where he had a 678 OPS, still put up 20 homers, still put up 20 steals. So one of those guys where you're like, well, you know, you can always count on him for a 2020 season. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
That's not bad. Look, that's pretty damn good. But like there wasn't anything more. It was just like, that's what he's going to be. He's going to be a guy who's like, great 2020, but like everything else, like he's not hitting for a ton more. You know, like I said, I don't want to brush it off. The guy's hitting 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases in the major leagues. This year, though, is having a great season to start the season. I think that's also been the case for him, is he's a second half guy. His stuff right now is, I think I just saw his first Bowman PSA 10 autos selling for about $202. I don't know if he's a starter in the outfield. I think he right now is an all-star for a great Braves team, the best team in baseball, a team that could make some noise in the playoffs. He's right in the middle of their success. A guy I like. I don't, I could see maybe you're like, wow, 25 years old now. Am I going to get in now on Michael Harris? And I don't blame you if you're like, no, I think I don't know if I want to touch that yet, but also 25, and he's already got all this he's already got a nice track record of success. So now maybe 25, he's got a long way to go. I don't know. I really like him, and I'm rooting for him hard. The stolen bases are not as big a part of his game, and maybe that's part of the reason he's getting more focused on his approach at the plate and not worried about racking up steals and all that. And maybe that's a decision by him, and whatever. I'm all about him. I'm excited that he's doing well, and I think that there's still some opportunity for growth for his market. That's great. Yeah, I want to shout out another outfielder, Andy Pages. Hitting 300. I think he might still be leading the majors in RBI. Like almost 50. He leads all of Major League Baseball in RBIs right now. So keep going, Andy. We love you. Where is he at with his market, by the way? That's one I don't think I've really checked in on the. He doesn't have a lot of cards. Right. He has rookie autos in Chrome Black, and I mean, and Topps Chrome and stuff like that. But I'm like, some of his like first autos, I think that were popping off were like Chrome Black. He's got a healthy run through Topps Chrome. That's probably a guy that we're going to be seeing all over 2026 and 27 product, rightfully so. But yeah, pitchers going off, outfielders going off. Corbin Carroll, he's been an all-star, but Corbin Carroll is like just insane at baseball. Dude. I just want to shout him out. He's like he's always should be like, he's always a top 10 guy, and yet there's still a little part of me that feels like, is he underrated? Like if you go to Philadelphia and you ask them about Corbin Carroll, no offense to Phillies fans who know ball, you just got picked out. But generally, you go to the East Coast, I don't know if they're like talking about Corbin Carroll in that way. Yeah, I think he's undersized on a bad team, and he gets as much love from like the sports centers and the MLB networks, as much love as they can give him. But I mean, I don't know. He's underrated. I think as a result, because he's underappreciated. I think he's very, very underrated. I think if he's playing on an East Coast team, on one of those big East Coast teams, I think he's getting a lot of play. There are few things in baseball I like watching more than Corbin Carroll trying to going for a triple. I love it. The face, the intensity there. I love it. It's the best. I'm looking at Page's market, by the way. There's a lot of stuff you can get. A lot of nice first Bowmans you can get for under $1,000 for him. Like good numbered stuff, PSA 10s and all that. And there you go. There's a raw first Bowman auto that sold today as we're recording this. $107. Raw.
Yeah, he's the best hitter on the back-to-back champs, looking for a third in a row. It's like not a bad buy.
And he's 20. And again, he's the same age as Michael Harris. He's 25. There's a lot of career left for Andy Pages, and he's getting the at-bats. Yeah. He's figuring it out at the plate. He's maintained, like he got a little bit of a slump I think towards the end of April and beginning of May, and he's gotten out of that. He's at the other side of it. Yeah, I agree. I think he's been great. I thought he should have been an All-Star last year.
Yeah, the National League's very good. National League is stacked right now.
I mean, this is the National League outfield I've got. You've got, James Wood, Jordan Walker, Corbin Carroll is a hell of an outfield. That is solid. Although AL,
goodness,
Judge, Trout, Buxton right now is who I've got penciled in, and that's pretty good too. Also felt so good. We talk about our love for Mike Trout, but like how good it felt to just put his name right in and not even think about it.
Yeah, he's hitting 240, but he's the best. He deserves it.
Yeah, he's hitting for power. He's doing everything else on the field well. He's getting on base.
He's been steady too.
He's been super steady
because he had a hot start, right? Yep. And he hasn't let up. He's been very steady.
Yep. Yeah, and the other outfields I have in the National League: Pages, Michael Harris, Ian Happ, because the Cubs need a guy. There's a lot of guys who are like, well, they need a guy, so I have to throw him in. Juan Soto's in there as well.
We're running out of time today, but what happened to the Cubs?
Streaky. Cubs. Happ's the only representative on the Cubs I have right now. Actually, that was one of those where I looked at the roster. Okay, who am I missing? I realized I didn't have a single Cub on this roster. I had to squeeze Ian Happ in there.
Is Corbin Carroll more underrated or is PCA more overrated?
You know where I'm landing on that.
Yeah, I still think we need to give Carroll his flowers, but
I like PCA.
PCA, step it up, dude.
He's a great defender, maybe the best in baseball. But I don't even want to revel in this. But like, this is something we talked about. I don't know if we talked about it on here. I don't remember what I mentioned. I said it on a podcast where I'm like, I would be selling PCA right now in February.
Yep.
I'd be selling him as soon as possible, because I just don't see it maintaining, and it's not happening. I want it to turn around. I like him. Great personality. Amazing defender. Hope he turns it around. Hope he proves me wrong.
Yeah, if you're buying PCA stuff, you better be buying like Brandon Nimmo stuff. He's better and cheaper, I promise you.
Whoa. Brandon Nimmo over at PCA. Oh,
look at the numbers. Obviously, a little longer career for Nimmo,
sure.
But I think they're a similar player.
Look, buy Pages, buy Michael Harris.
Yes,
that's the thing is we just mentioned two guys.
Two examples there
where I feel like they are better buys right now than PCA. And you know what? Let me look it up. This will be, we got to prove this. If a Pete Crow Armstrong first Bowman is going for way more, which I almost guarantee.
Yeah, he's a Met. He's a Met in that card. Still probably selling for more.
Yeah, he's selling for more. He is selling for more than either of the guys we mentioned. His market has gone way down. I will say that. His market is way, way down from what it was. But regardless, there's like base cards, non-autos that you can get of PCA for the same price as that raw Andy Pages first Bowman auto. So, I don't know. I know what I'd be spending my money on.
Yeah.
It would be those guys instead. So let us know in the comments if you got which of these potential first All-Stars that you are in on, that you're most excited about. If there's a guy that we haven't mentioned that makes your All-Star team right now that you think is worth looking at, let us know in the comments. Also, let us know which products you're looking forward to over the month of June, which will be a packed month, and we will definitely be talking about it. We'll probably be dissecting more of the Series 2 checklist and all the rookies who are joining it. I didn't even get to mention some of the MLB drafts hubbub I've been hearing about Rock Chalowski, who the College World Series just starting. I think I just saw him on the TV for UCLA. It's going to be a lot of talk because there's some rumors about where he may or may not go right now.
Right.
It's the most intriguing it's been in a while. Of like he's like easily the number one, but like so good that there's actual trades being discussed right now. It's kind of nuts. So we'll talk about it off air. I got to let you, because I think it's interesting. But listen to us wherever you get podcasts. Just search Mojobreak, and of course watch us on Mojobreak Media. Subscribe. For Bubba, I'm Cody. We'll see you guys next time on Wax Packs and Morning Tracks.
See you.